Recording is on.
Okay, so it is on now. So here from here we have created this search folder and then authentication folder. Okay, so this is in the current directory on which I am working right now. So it is going to populate this htpasswd with test user and password is password. Okay, so registry 2 is not on my host, so first it will download it and then it will run. So if I just check that container, that is not running right now because we have just given that command to run this and populate data with it. So once the command is finished, your container will stop. Okay, so just remember that thing. Sometimes you will find like, where is the container, my container is, why it's not running? Because whatever the command you have mentioned in your container, it will run that and then it will exit automatically. Okay, so if that is the command that is not going to run continuously, it will stop. So this is the command that was running. So htpasswd and then test user password and generated one file over here. So just check that file. So go to that auth directory, and if I just ls, so this is the file. Okay, so if you want to cat this file, so test user is the username and this is the password that is in encrypted form. Okay, so we have done with the one thing. Now the second part is tls certificates. Okay, so to generate a tls certificate, we have a command in linux that will generate self-signed certificates. Means it is not generated by any uh, certificate authority, but we are going to generate by ourselves. So this is the command open ssl. So you don't have to worry about this command, like what it is doing. You have to just remember like we have to get a certificate. So in real scenario, we are going to take help with your security team, and those going to help with your certificate thing. Okay, so they will provide you certificates and all the things. So I will show you here. You can see our request is to request certificate, and this is the new key, and RSA is for 4096 bit, and nodes SHA 256 is a hash key, and this is going to generate an under certs domain dot key. So this is your private key. Okay, and hyphen days 365 means it is going to expire within a year. Okay, means after 1 year this certificate will not work. And hyphen out, so this will populate this public for public certificate domain dot certs, and it is going to uh, both these keys are generated in certs folder. Okay, so if you right now go to search folder.
Hello, Sarojit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I will join once again when I reach home
Okay, okay.
within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, okay, no issue.
Okay. My battery is about to die. That is why.
Yeah, yeah, I can, no issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Sisi, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah, okay. So, let's go ahead. So, if I have changed my directory to certs, and you can see there is no file present right now. Okay. So, let's run that command openSSL. Oh, So now it will generate two file domain.key and domain.cert under this certs folder. So other thing, just keep it default. And one thing that is mandatory is common name. So I have to give the server fqdn or rname. So I will provide the server fqdn name. So public name is because that is going to authenticate. Okay, so you have to give the public names. So here I have to give the public name because it is going to route the data traffic on internet. Otherwise, you can provide the uh, what is called means host name. Okay, so this is my public FQDN name, and other will be fine. So now if I just clear my screen and go to search, and now you can see we have two file now. Okay, so domain.cert and domain.key. So now what we are going to do next is we are going to connect with the other computer. So before that, what we can do, we can start our registry container. Okay, so these things are done now. Now finally we are going to start this container. Okay, so now you can understand like where this certs come. So I have to just update this command because we didn't created this registry folder. We have certs and auth under home directory. So if I just go will, so I am under home cloud user and then certs. Okay, so I am mounting this certs home cloud user certs to the root certs. Okay, in the container, and same thing with this one. And then the container, this environment variable will check for those certificates under the search folder that is created while we mount this folder. Okay, so now container will search under this directory. Okay, so this these two files domain.source and domain.key and then htpasswd, those will be available because we have mounted those folders to the container. If I just remove these two lines, these will not work. Okay, certs and these, it will give you an error. So if you want to see that error, you let me just remove it for a while. So let me show you. So if I run like this, okay, so what it will do, it will check in under search folder. But because we have not mounted any folder under this, so it will say like no such file and folders. Okay, so if you just run docker ps, you can see status is restarting. Okay.
Anyways, the container gets created and it get
Mhm.
exit, right? I mean, whenever we run, I mean, whenever we input anything for running a container,
Mhm.
so the container is created by default because I
Yeah.
see a ID. I mean, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So when we run this docker run, okay. So when we are running this command, it is going to create a container. So
Okay,
you have to give these two things mainly. Means if I just run docker run and then this registry colon 2, this is the image name. Okay, so if I run that command as well, it will run, means it will run your container. So if I just run this command. So this will also uh, run a container,
Create
right?
a container.
Yes, it will create a container. Okay, but let's see
The
what will
container
happen.
will not. Yes, I got your point. Yes.
Yeah, so this will create a container, but it will not serve our purpose, right? It will
Yes.
just create a container, and there is no authentication. You can log in without any authentication. Okay, so here in warning you can see no HTTP secret provided, generated random secret. So to serve our purpose, like to provide a authentication mechanism, we have written these means override these environment variable. So other question is like where I will find these environment variables, right? Means how I know these are the environment variables I have to use. So do you know like where I will find these variables?
Yes. No, I can get it from my path, right? I mean, from my present working directory. Hello. Hello.
uh,
Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Sorry, can you just repeat because I got a call and I didn't hear
Okay.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. As per my understanding, I can get those stuff from my present working directory
so these
because you
these
have saved.
so these variables means how I know like this variable name of the variable is correct.
Your
Okay,
pin is not visible.
I'm saying like how I know like these are the variables I should use means correct these for variables is correct because name should be act as it is means if you just write a single mistake you will not it will not work. Okay, so one has this question like where I will find those variables. So how I know it? So let me just show you where I will find those variables. So
Sarajit, your pin is not visible.
okay, okay. Now,
Yes.
okay. So uh, actually these variables are you can find it on hub.docker.com. So right now what I am using as a image is registry. Okay, so all the details related to registry I have to find it on the hub.docker.com. So if I go to this official image and if I go down, you will find all the documentation over here. Okay, so over here you will find your variables and all the things, so you have to write these documents. Okay, so but to work we have some basic variables that we aware of. So these are the some variables that we should know. So in future, like you have to perform some other activity, like if you want to in your organization they said that we have to integrate it with here our AD. So how I will provide the AD user and password, and how the container will know where to go for authentication. Okay, so for those things you have to go on hub.docker.com and read this documentation. And if you can Google, that will also help. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, here now you understood like this is the command that will create a container, and
Yes.
these are the very hello.
Yes, Arjit.
Okay.
Hello. I can hear.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So these are the variables that is used to serve our purpose. Means what I have to do. So what I want to do, we have to define with these variables. So right now I want TLS certificate authentication with htpasswd user basic authentication. So I have to override these variables. Okay. So right now actually what I was want means what I want to show you that in last command, in second last command I have removed that hyphen v hyphen v, mounting variable. Okay, means I have removed those two lines, right? So I want to show if we did not mount that uh, folders, what will happen. So you can see over here, this is the container that is still in restarting mode. Okay, it is not exited, not start up, it is restarting. Why it is restarting? Because we have given this clause that restart always. So it is trying to restart, but it is not up. Why? So if you want to check that thing, so why it is in starting, so this is the helpful command for troubleshooting, Docker logs. So I want to check logs of this container, why it is restarting. So you will see somewhere, you can see no such file or directory,
Yes.
no such file or directory, right? So what I have to do is I can just stop this container first, or and then remove it. So to stop container stop, and on the same command I can use and to give the another command. So first it will stop and then remove. So you cannot remove a running container. Okay, so now if I just ps, there is no container right now. Okay, so these are the container that is in exit state, so we don't have to worry about those. So now go ahead and add those, means those two lines, and mount the folders. Okay, so now by default this folder is not present. When we mount this host folder over here, it will create a folder. So over here you can write another name, but for our purpose I have written the same name. But this is not mandatory to give the same name, you can write any name, but if you change over here you have to change over here as well. Okay, so just go ahead and run this command now. Yeah, so if I just docker ps, oops,
Again restarting.
uh, yes, yes, why, because this time I have not updated this part. Okay, because our cert folder is under over here. Okay, if you go to certs directory, you can see this is the reason. Okay, again, that is the container is not able to find these files. It will find this folder, but it is not finding these files. Okay, because I have mounted the
Yes.
wrong container, wrong value. Docker again, run the same command. So when we are running any container using like creating a uh, container on the command mode, mostly we have to stop and remove that. We cannot edit it, but in real scenario actually we don't do that. We actually uh, use a file that is called docker compose file. So if we want to edit something, we can edit that file and apply once again. So it will make the changes. Okay. So that is the last. I think we learn that thing at the end. So we have at least 2 weekends more. After 2 weekends, I think we are good in container. So I have removed those container, and just let me remove this part. That's it. Okay, so now there should not be any issue. Okay, now it is up. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's up and running. And just to check, means this container, this registry, our private registry is working or not, we are going to pull and push some image on this registry, in this registry, right? So just let me log into the other server from which we will pull and push the image. So this is the another one, that is 3C. Okay, so if you check over here, there is no any container. Okay, and if I check for image, there is no image. Okay, so this one is the host that is running registry container. Okay, name is registry. So what we are going to do, from this container we will log in to this registry container. Okay, so to log into any docker registry, the command is docker login. So if I just provide docker login, it will by default connect to hub.docker.com. Okay, but I don't have uh means I don't have any account, means I have actually, but this is not we want to log into our registry. So what I will do, docker login and then the name of the registry. So this is the host name. So whenever you want to log into a specific direct registry, you have to give the name as well, means the host name of that server on which your registry is running. Okay, so if I hit enter, it will ask for username. Okay, and I have user, that is test user. Okay, that we have created under htpasswd file. So give me and the password. So here the problem is certificate signed by unknown authority. Okay, because we have self signed certificate. Okay, if this certificate is created by some certificate authority, then you will not get any error. So how to get rid of it? So in start of my session I show that file that is sudo etc slash docker slash daemon.json. So this is the file that I have shown. Okay, so we can edit this file to bypass this uh, certificate checking, means it will not check for the certificate. Okay, so to do that we have to edit this file, and what I have to write in this file is I am telling that this is insecure registry. This is a little bit confusing because I'm saying insecure registry, and it is going to connect with that registry. So how, means if it is insecure then it should not connect, right? But here uh, they have defined like this, means this is a insecure registry and I know it. Okay, so please go ahead and accept the certificates. Okay, so now it will not check for any certificates, it will just bypass this. But this is not a recommended thing, means you don't have to do this because you have set up a mechanism for authentication, and now you are bypassing that, right? So you don't have to do it, but for testing purpose I am showing you, because sometimes you have to like test your the issue with your registry or with the certificate. Okay, with your authentication mechanism. So to do that you can just specify this insecure registries and the name of the registry host name on which your registry is running, and then it will not check for, it will not check for your certificates, means it is signed or not, it will just let you logged in. So to do that, if you have edited this daemon.json, then you must have to restart your daemon, otherwise it will not take effect. So sudo systemctl stop docker. Okay, and then start docker. Okay, so if I now try to log into this registry, now it will allow to log in. Okay, now you can see login succeeded, right?
Yes.
But this is not a good way. Okay, so now I'm going to remove that and I will show you the correct way to authenticate. So first let me log out of here. So docker logout to log out from the it actually I have give the same name because it is showing you are not logged into this index.docker. So this is the public registry, so I have to log it from here. So copy paste. Okay, removing login credential. So now just go to that file and once again remove that part, etc Docker daemon. Okay, and right now if in the one session I have just removed the whole data from here, means I have removed these two curly braces that I was showing, means I have removed these two curly braces as well. And then as I said, like whenever you are editing this docker daemon file, you have to restart your service. So I have made the changes over here, and when I was trying to start the service, it wasn't failing. Okay, that's why if you have edited your daemon.json, and then after doing that you are not able to start your daemon, then most probably you have made some mistake in the daemon.json file. Okay, and if you have this file, then your file at least contain this two curly braces. So now again, if I have to restart. Okay, so stop, and then start. Okay, so now if you can check docker login. So again we are getting the error that certificate signed by unknown authority. So what I will do, as I said, we have two certificates. One is cd cert. So we have one private and one public key, that is domain.cert. Okay, so what we will do is we will copy this domain.cert to the host from which we are trying to connect to the registry. Okay, so to do that, first we have to create a folder. Okay, so to create, we have this command. So sudo mkdir. Before that, let me show you. Oh, cd etc docker. So here we have only two files right now. Okay, daemon.json and key.json. So over
What is
here
the
we
key
have to,
dot?
sorry.
I understood daemon dot JSON, but what is this key dot JSON?
Actually this contains some key, but okay, let me show you. You can see this is the key, means I will let you know when we will learn about mtls. Okay, that is a daemon security. This is for these are, when we have other docker, means a host that has a docker, so how it will authenticate. Okay, when you are running any command. Okay, so you can run from any client, different client as well. So to do that, whenever you run any command, it will check like it is coming from the correct or genuine, uh, what is called genuine
Okay,
source. Okay, means
source.
no from other side, like someone trying to connect to your docker daemon and destroying it. Okay, because if they get control of your daemon, then they can do anything they want. Means they can delete your containers, images, whatever. So uh, in detail I will tell you in when I will show you about networking and security. Okay, because when
Oh,
if I talk about this key.json, then again it will go longer. Okay, so session becomes longer.
okay.
Yeah, so that is the reason actually just remember, like this is related to authentication and MTLS, mutual trust. I also forgot the full name of mutual TLS, that is called. Okay, so right now we have to create a folder over here that is certs.d. I can create it with in a single line under certs.d. We have to give this name as well, so it will check in this folders. So we have to give the name of the host on which registry is running, so it will check over here for the public key when we run docker login. Okay, uh, we have to give -p because certs.d is not present. Okay, so now we have certs.d, and if I check, sorry, we have this folder as well. So I'm going to copy this domain.cert, okay, over here. So it has a long command. Let me just copy paste it, and then I will explain the command. So scp is a command to copy from other host. Okay, cloud user is a user that is going to log
Yes.
into the this host. So this is the host, so I'm going to log into to C. So I have to replace it. Okay, and over there I have to copy from home cloud user and remove this registry because our folder is present after this cloud user certs domain dot cert. Okay, and again I have to remove this with this name because we have created folder with this name. Okay, so from here we are copying the file to the host from which we are going to log in. So let me just copy it and paste it over here. So this is a long command, authentication, yes, and the password. Okay, so you can see this is copied to my host. So let me clear the screen first and go to certs.d and then this folder, and if I check over here we have domain.cert. So we have copied the public certificate from the host on which our registry is running. Okay, so let me just go to the home folder. Okay, so now if I try to log into the registry, so earlier I saw you that we are after editing the file. So let me show you. After editing this file, so now I have removed it. After editing this file, we are not able to connect to the registry. We are again getting the same error, that is unknown certificate. So now
Yes.
after copying the public certificate, and now if I try to log into that registry, I should able to log into. Oh, I think I have not restarted it. Okay, sorry, unauthorized. It is showing unauthorized. Okay, so might be the issue with the password. Let me just re-enter it. Okay, so now you can see login succeeded, and we have removed that part that is insecure registry. Still, we are able to log in because we have copied this public certificate the from this host. Okay, so now these two hosts have uh, authentication, okay, with the certificate. So if I created a uh, new server and then again I want to log into this registry, I have to copy that domain.cert to that node as well. Okay, otherwise you will get that same error. So in real scenario, actually, it depends uh, how they have set up their authentication mechanism. Okay, so this depends organization to organization. So just go ahead and pull and push some images to new, means our own private registry. Okay, so if I check for any image on this host, no. So let me just pull one image from hub.docker.com. So I am pulling Ubuntu. So it will pull Ubuntu dot colon latest image from hub.docker.com. So now we have this image. Okay. Now if I try to push this image, okay, currently I am logging to registry or my own registry, right? But if I try to push it, docker push and then Ubuntu, what is going over here? So I am logging to my own registry, but still it is sending to docker.io, that is public registry hub.docker.com, and it is saying that layer already exists. Okay, and denied because we are not logged into the hub.docker.com. Okay, so it
Yes.
is saying authentication required. So by default, when you push any image, it will go to hub.docker.com. So how I will redirect to my own registry, right? So
You
whenever
have
you
to
want
log in.
to, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, sir. Rajat. What I mean, what I was saying, like, if I have to push it to my own registry or to my own host, mean to some other location, I
Mhm.
mean, I have to log to that particular host.
Yes, but right now, we already logged into our registry, right?
Yes.
Yes, so
Oh,
still,
yes, yes.
yes, so still it is sending to
Docker Hub.
hub.docker.com. So this is the reason we have to learn about this, that if you want to push it to your own repository, means at least if you have your own repository on hub.docker.com as well. Okay, and if you want to push on that repository, so you have to re-tag it. Okay, right now the name is Ubuntu. So this is a way, like, you redirect your push or pull to what, in which registry you want to push it or pull it from. So to do that, I have to just rename it, or we say it as a tagging. So I will retag this Ubuntu
Hmm.
with my registry name slash Ubuntu. Okay, Then so first retag it, okay, and then I will show. So command to retag, I have to just write docker tag and which image I want to retag, Ubuntu, and then we have to give this public host name, and in it depends upon your scenario. Like if you are working in a uh, private network, you have to give the name of your host. Okay, right now I have to give the public host name, and then the name of the image. Okay, so it will just tag with a different name. This image will be same. Okay, so if I just run image ls, now we have two image, but you can see image id is same. Okay, so you can see we have just we have two name for the same image. Okay, means both image, we don't have the two images on my system. I have only one image. Okay, but Ubuntu has two names. One is Ubuntu by default, and second that I have given. Okay, so if I say like it is taking 128 MB data or just 64 MB data on my disk. So what is your answer?
64.2 MB.
Yes, it will take only 64.2 because it is not copy, means there is no two images. Actually it is only one image, and we have just retag it. Okay, so now if I try to push to my own registry, I have to retag with like this. So first is the registry name, and then slash, and then the image name. Okay, so if I go to, I think, hub.docker.com, and let me show you. If I write ms MySQL, okay. So this one is MySQL official image, okay. But if you just go down, you can see over here MySQL slash MySQL server, okay. So if you just write docker push MySQL, it is going to push to the home, or means over here MySQL. But if you want to send it to MySQL slash MySQL server, you have to retag that image with the repository name. So here MySQL is repository name and image name is MySQL server. Okay, same thing if I check for hello world image, there are many hello world image. One is from Microsoft, and if I go down, I will see some Ansible playbook bundle. So this is the repository name and slash image name. Okay, so if I go over here, you can see if you want to pull this image, you have to just provide the repository name. So this is the repository name first, and then this is the name of the image. Okay, so name of the image is hello world, but to push to this repository, he has to retag it with this name. Okay, any question? So I want
No,
to
sir.
reroute this push to my own registry, so I have retag it with my registry name slash image name. So image name is Ubuntu actually. Okay, we have just retag it. So now if I just push docker push and then name, now you can see here it is changed. The push refer to repository Sarabjit Singh 2c dot this. Okay, before that, when I have run this command over here, it was showing docker.io. I have not given that docker.io, right? So by default it go over here. So if you want to replace this registry, you have to retag it with your registry name slash image name. So now you can see we have pushed this image. Okay, so now we have to pull this image, okay, from my repository. So if I search for what was the name, docker image ls. So this is the name. So if it went to this hub.docker.com, it should be present over here, but no result. Okay, so it went to our registry. So we have two commands, that is docker login, docker logout, and docker pull and push. Okay, one more command, that is docker search. Okay, so if I want to search this image, I can write docker search, but it will search on hub.docker.com. And if you want to search on your own registry, this is not possible right now. Okay, this is possible in DTR that I will install and on the last session. But if you want to search, like you will ask one simple question like, if I want to see how many images are there in my registry. Okay, and if I don't know the name of the image, so how I will get to know like which name I should give to pull the image? So for that I don't have answer, because we cannot see that. Okay, we cannot at least list. We have some API that uh, we have to implement to see those details like image details on the registry, but that is little bit complex. Okay, so there is that I cannot show you. So just remember, you cannot search your own registry. So let me just remove these two images, and then we will pull this image from our own registry. Okay, so if I run docker image prone hyphen a, I think it will delete all. Okay, so just I forgot it. If you are able to see, like here it was showing reclaimed 64 MB. Okay, so that I was showing that it is actually showing two images, but it is not. Okay, so if I just run image ls, right now I don't have any image, right? So here you can see it is showing no images with that name. And if I want to prove that, I will do one thing. I will just log out. Actually, why I do this repetitive things to show you that, just for confirmation, like I'm doing the right thing, means I'm not skipping any steps. So you will understand the workflow. So you can see removing login credentials. So now if I try to pull, I have pushed this image, right? So now if I try to pull it, I will get error. Okay, because it searched this repository on the hub.docker.com, because I have logged out from my current means my own registry, so it is going over there and it is showing that no basic authentication credential. Okay, so I have to first, it means it is pushed to my own registry. This is the proof. Okay, so if I again log into my registry, login succeeded, and if I run this command now, let's see what you can see. I am able to download this image. So I hope you understood the things that I want to show you. So now you
Yes.
have any question right now? Because this is done. Like, this is the thing that I want to show you. That's it. So this is the complete registry part. So
No,
main, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sarabjit, I just joined 10 minutes before. So I'll
Okay,
watch the entire video and in the next coming next session tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, I'll ask you
okay.
question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I will share the link. You just watch it and
yeah.
well, uh, come with the question tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I have planned to show you. So if you guys have 10 to 15 minutes more, I will. I want to show you actually one container that is MySQL container.
Yeah.
So you have time?
Yes,
yes,
Sarabjit. Yes.
Sarajit, you can go.
Yeah, thanks. So right now you have seen one container that is running and it is working. Okay. Before that, you are thinking like we have just run Docker run hello world, and what is the use of that container. But now you can see the real where we can run the container, and you can see means it takes about 1 hour to explain all the things, but how quickly we are able to set up the things. Okay, means just I have to paste the command and hit enter, and that's it. So in next 15 minutes I will show you how to run a MySQL container and connect it with that container. Okay, and also show you how to mount the data. Okay, so it might take 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me show you that thing. So these are the commands. So first let me show you with the wrong data. Means I want to run MySQL. Okay, I have not provided any name to the container, nothing, not expose any port. I just run docker run hyphen d MySQL. Okay, MySQL is not present, so it will pull first.
Recording is on.
It was off earlier. Let me check. No. So now if I run docker ps, oops, there is no container. So how I will work with this MySQL if it just exit? Yeah, we have a container, but it is not running. Okay, so this is the issue that happened. So how I will let to know like what is the issue. So again, this command, remember, means this is the most useful command while working on Docker, because you know Anyone can run any container, okay, but troubleshooting of the Docker is not that much easy. I'm just repeating this thing. Troubleshooting of Docker is not much easy because you are not able to see anything. You have to run our commands and you have to read the logs. If you are not much habitual with the logs reading, then it will be difficult for you. Okay, so I want to check the logs of this container why it exit. Okay, so this is the command docker logs and then the name of the container. So here you can see entry point script for MySQL is started, switching to dedicated user, that is MySQL user by default, and then entry point is started. Database is uninitialized and password option is not specified. So this is the reason this MySQL container is not running, it just exit. Okay, so we have to specify at least MySQL root password to make it running all the time. Got it? So to do that, we have to again give some environment variable while running MySQL. Okay. So let me just I run this command regularly so you are able to recognize it and memorize it. Okay, so docker prone is used to remove all the stopped container. Okay, it's deleted. Now what we are going to do is over here, so we will run the container in detach mode and I will write it, name should be mysql underscore test, and then I will set the root password to password, and I will create one user, that is test user. Before that I will create one database as well, and most thing the environment variable must in caps. Okay, so if you forget these variables you will find over here. So I'm using MySQL image, so if you go over here and search for MySQL and go to MySQL, and at the end you will find, so you can see these are the environment variables that is used with this image. So to create this my database, MySQL underscore database, so here you can see the variable is optional, these are optional, but this variable is mandatory. Okay, because we have not provided this variable or docker container, just exit. Okay, so then you, the password of this user is again password, and again if I remove this part, okay, just let me control X it and put it somewhere else. So again I have removed that hyphen b, means I am not mounting any persistent volume. So if I run this command, okay, so now if I check docker ps, now it is up and running. Okay, it will not exit now. because we have given the mandatory environment variable. So it is up, it is running. Now, how I will connect to it, right? So, someone, do you know anyone like how to connect with this container? Do you know the command to connect to the existing running container?
You mean how to open it?
Yes, one instance is running on this container, and I want to uh, connect to that container, and I want to show you the data. Means I want to create one database, and I want to create some populate with some data into that database. So how I will do that? I know the container is running, but how I will connect to that database and run some database query or anything related to MySQL.
Docker exe, something like that command.
Yeah, correct. So we have this command docker execute.
Execute
Okay, and
-it
I,
container name.
yes, I means interactive and T means TTY. So we need one terminal as well. Okay, and I am going to run this bash command. So these two things is mandatory while you are using exec. Okay,
Okay.
so you have to provide this is as interactive and then the container name and then the what you want to run. So I want bash to run. So if I run this command, now I am inside the
Inside
container.
the container.
Yes. So to connect to the MySQL, the same way we connect. So that command is MySQL -u for user, and I will
Okay.
have root user and then password -p, and password is password. So now I have connected to MySQL, right? So if I want to check, like I have created one database while creating the container MySQL database equal to database DB. So if I want to check that thing, databases, you can see test DB. Okay, so it means now whatever you want means this is not our duty, this is from DB, and actually they are not using SQL as a container right now. Means most of the organization using container to run their web application only. Okay, they don't want to take risk on MySQL because database is very important. If something went wrong with the container or something went wrong and data loss, then yeah, this is a very difficult thing to recover. So they actually don't run MySQL and webs any database VM. Okay, so from like this, I am able to connect to the MySQL, and if I don't want to go inside the container, I can also connect from the remotely as well. Okay, so from the host. So to do that, I have to install MySQL client over here. Sudo apt
Okay.
get install MySQL client. Okay, yes, I want to install. So to connect to that, what I have done is, you can see while creating we have exposed this port, right? 3309 on host and 3306, that is a default port for MySQL. within the container. So we have mapped this port to this port in the container. So to connect to this host, I have to give the host name on which my container is running and the port and then the protocol, that is TCP. So if you check over here, so this is TCP and 3309 is the port. So now I have to check the private IP of this host, that is 172.31.47. Okay, so this is the IP. So let me copy this IP and replace. Oops. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, port is 3309 and protocol is same and user is also same, and I want to give the password. So -p. If I give the password, you can say I connected to MySQL. So if I run the same command over here, you will see the test._db, right? Now the last thing, after that we will finish the session. So right now I have not mounted any volume. Okay, so the data that is going to store over here, it is actually not persistent. Means if I just remove this container, okay, or delete this container, our data is no longer exist. Got it? So let's do that. Docker container
Thanks. Thank you. Hmm.
and stop Docker container remove. Okay, so if I now run Docker ps, we don't have any container. Okay, now we will create MySQL container with volume underscore db underscore data. So we can do one thing, we can mount this volume. Means if the name is there, it means this is the volume. If I have I specify a path, then it is a file path on my system. So if I check docker volume ls, this is a new host, so there should not be any volume, right? There is two volume, that is local. So first I have to create a volume, that is volume create and db my db or mysql db mysql underscore db. Okay, so I have created this mysql underscore db. Let me replace it as well, and you will see that the volume is created now. So if I list volume once again, now we have mysql db. So it is using again using the local driver. And if you want to change it, I will show you how to change it in volume and storage part. So mysql underscore db is a volume name, but you will think where is the actual data. Okay, so this is the second command that is very powerful when you are troubleshooting, that is inspect. Okay, so if I want to check the whole detail of MySQL DB, I have to write inspect. So point, you can see mount point is over here. Okay, so if you want to browse that, you can. Let me just list the data. If so, if I just hit enter, okay, access is denied. Let me check with sudo. Yes, so you can see there is no output, means there is no file. Okay, if I want to go over there, I can. If okay, it will not work. Permission denied. So I can just remember you. Just let me just list the files or folder under underscore data. So there is right now no folder, no files. Okay, and now what we are going to, our MySQL data is going to store over here in the container. Okay, so if I just add this line, so whatever written over in this folder MySQL, it will be copied over here as well. Okay, so if I now copy and paste it. Okay, docker ps, yes, it is running. Now what I will do, we have already connected to this container earlier as well, so just copy paste that command. And so if I check show databases, okay, we have test db. Okay, because we have created test db over here, right? So now what I will do, I will again remove this container as well. Okay, I will remove this container, and let's see our data is present or not when we will create a new container. Okay, and before that, let me show you that volume. So if I inspect, so you guys with me, because I don't know, I'm just, someone please confirm like you
Yeah,
are.
yes, sir. Yes, we are
Okay.
listening.
Yes, yes, okay.
Yeah.
So last time, you see there was no any data over on this path. Okay, so now let's check the data is populated or not. You can see now we have this many data, and you can see this test db as well. Okay, so where it comes, because I have mounted this path over here. Okay, so whatever written in this folder will be stored over here as well. So if by chance or by mistake this container has been deleted for, or it is just failing, it is not able to start, then your data is there, your data is not lost. Okay, so what I will do,
Hello, Sarabjit.
yes, yes,
Yeah, that MySQL DB, that part is stored in the host itself, isn't it? Yeah, MySQL underscore DB.
yes, this is on my host.
Yeah, and that is on slash where slash lib. That is on the container part, isn't it?
Yes. So first part always be on the host. Second part is on in the
On
container.
the container.
Yes. So if I just write this name, MySQL underscore DB. It means it is a volume. Okay. And
Okay.
uh, I don't know, like you have seen this part. So if I have written like this, okay,
Yeah.
so I can also mount the folder, means host folder to the container. So here I have mounted the host folder to the container. Okay.
Okay.
So, and this part is vice versa. Means if I write something in certs dot means in the container over on this folder, in this folder, so it will be right over here as well. So this thing is in the sync, and if I edit something over here, it will reflect in this part.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Yes.
Mm.
So what we are going to do is we are going to again delete this container, okay? And we'll see our data is present or not. Okay. So I have removed the container. There is no container, right? And now what I am going to do to prove that like our data is not lost, means it is present, I will remove this part. Okay, means I am not going to create any database while creating the container. Got it? So
Okay.
I have removed it, and but I have mounted this volume over here. Okay. So in the last container, whatever written in this folder was synced to this volume,
Okay.
and
So test
this
underscore
time,
DB will, Sarabjit,
yeah, yes, yes,
test underscore DB will be reflected in this path by
yes,
MySQL.
yes.
Okay.
So whatever the data over here will be now reflected over here. So I
Okay.
have removed that test DB, but we must see that database while when we create this container, right? Because
Okay.
our data is persistent now. Okay. So I have
Okay.
created one more container, and if I just hit, there is only one container that is 12 second ago created. So now if I connect to this new container, okay, and if I run this command show databases, so our database is there, but when we run the command we have not specify any database, right?
Yes.
So it proves our data is persistent now. So if you want to uh, pers- if you want to store data, if your container is destroy or something, you have to use volumes to store your data for longer time, or it will persist your data. Okay. So actually this volume is very important. So whenever you are creating a container in real scenario, you have to give this volume. Otherwise, if something happens to your container, your data is no longer accessible. Okay. So
Okay.
if
Got
you
it.
have some data in your container, and yeah, there should be a something in your container, right? And you want to store it. So this is a main part, that is volume. Okay, so actually in further lessons, actually I will show you with when we initialize a swarm mode, and then I will run one WordPress container and one MySQL container, and we will connect those two container with each other. So whatever or whatever the uh, changes you have made in WordPress, okay, will be stored in MySQL, okay, and we will mount that data to the different node or somewhere else on the same node, and we will destroy the MySQL container, and we will create another container, and we will still able to use our WordPress. Okay, so in real scenario, actually there more than one container running with the MySQL. Okay, and it is routed with a cluster IP, or you can say like a load balancer. Okay, so that is actually very very
Is it
deep.
like a backup of
Sorry.
the my? Is it like a backup of MySQL? You said there are
Mhm.
many containers running MySQL.
Yes.
So
So yeah,
have
it
we
is like a
created?
HA to provide high availability.
Oh, okay.
Okay. To high for high availability, we create more than one MySQL container, and
Hmm.
that I said, like, I don't know, but in means there are very few organization that is fully using containers. Okay,
Okay.
actually, right now everyone is running in a mix mode.
Hmm.
Means SQL or database part is on VM, and only the web application, okay,
Hmm.
those on the container. Because early, I mean, on the first session, I said that uh, we actually utilizing the resource, we want to utilize the resource at fullest. Means like web server, if you think there are about, if there are much load, then you will see 50, 100, 200 web servers, okay,
Hmm.
but not the DB servers. If there are 200, 300 web server, then you will find about 5 to 6 database server only, okay,
Okay.
with the high configuration. But
Hmm.
mainly where we can utilize, or where we can save our resources is in web servers. Okay, if we remove the web server, like, we have replaced the web server with the container, so we have 200 web servers, and we have replaced it with 200 containers, let's say. Okay,
Hmm.
so for every VM, uh, we have to install operating system that should be at least 1 GB. Just
Yes.
take an example. Okay, so for 200 web server, we have 200 GB just
Yes.
for operating system.
Yes.
Okay, so if I run the that web server as a container, you can see we are saving at least 200 GB, right? But
Yes.
for DB, that is not the case. We have only 4 or 5 DB VMs, so they are not taking risk in DB servers. But yes, for web application, all the web application has been replaced with the container.
Okay.
So this thing is, like, to show you how we work with the MySQL or other containers or other images, because there are not only MySQL images. If you go to Docker Hub, there are lots of or many images that you think of.
Hmm.
Okay, so Oracle DB, but few organizations are using the DB servers. Postgres,
Okay.
Nginx, mostly Nginx, and Apache, HTTPD. These are used, and this Redis also used as a container. and Node.js. So this is Docker in Docker. You can
Oh,
see Docker in Docker. So I can, if I install this one, I can run Docker inside Docker. Means Docker is running as a container. Means Docker itself is
oh,
running as a container. Okay, so if you want to check, let's try it. So if I run Docker run -d and name, let's try this as a my Docker, my Docker, and then image name is Docker. Okay, so I don't know. We have to give some environment variables or something. Let's go through this document. Oh, you can see although running Docker inside Docker is generally not
not
recommended,
recommended. Yes.
there are some legitimate use cases such as development of Docker itself. Okay, because
Mm.
Docker is open source, so Docker image privilege something we have to specify like IT name some Docker. Okay, I think it should run. So if I run Docker ps, no, it is exited. Okay, so actually I have to specify some command, some environment variable, I think. Okay, then we can run it as a Docker. So like the same way, if I want to troubleshoot it, which command I have to use and why it is exited, so I can use this logs. So this is not generated any log as well. So we can do one thing. We can at the same time we can run as a interactive mode and name it as my docker 2 and then docker and then bash. Let's see what happened. No, it did not provide. I think hyphen is not required. Mhm. Bash is not present because it. I think it has only Docker. So whenever you are just investigating something, before that you should. So this is the video. I think how to run it. So we recommended to go through the this document whenever you are trying a new image. So for that we have to provide this much of the details. So
Yeah.
like network, Docker, and then the volumes. If we did not provide these things, it will not run continuously. It will just start and then stop. So connect it from a second container. How to connect from the second container? Custom daemon flags, rootless. So the hub.docker.com is very useful uh, when you want to play with it. Okay, so yeah, mostly you have to learn about the basic, and you have the knowledge like if I want something new, where I have to go. Okay, where I have to check, then Google is the most important thing place where you can search. Okay, but If you want to search on hub.docker.com, you will get the uh, most of it. Okay, so that's it from my side today. And I think I have written that I will show you the swarm, but we will take it in the next session. Okay, so tomorrow we will what we are going to do is I will already create three VM, three virtual machines. Okay, one is for managers, two for worker. Okay, and Docker will be installed already, and I will start from the initializing of the swarm mode, and we will connect those two worker nodes. Okay, so do you have
Sorry, tomorrow's timing.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Tomorrow's timing.
Timing is same 3 to 5 if you are able to join, because I think Sisir and you both are joining. So if you have both have the time, same time, you are available, then we can do at 3 to 5. And if you,
Tomorrow we have a activity,
oh,
calendar,
yes,
RSS calendar.
yes,
Oh,
yes, 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 yeah, correct, correct.
So we'll try to be, I mean, we will try to be by 3:30. I mean, to wind up the things by 3:30.
Okay,
But
so it is,
not sure about that.
yeah, okay, no
oh,
issues.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sisir, on a safer side, we'll join at 4:30 or 5.
Yeah, that will also work. Means because I think if you two are sure like you will join tomorrow, and you can just ping me like you are not able to join or something, then we will reschedule, because if there are less participants then we can do that, but if there are more participants then we cannot do that. But I think if you two are joining, then we can reschedule it, or we can do it in the evening as well. So it depends upon you. Okay.
Sarojit,
Yes.
you can schedule it at 4. So
Okay.
we'll join. Mine is fixed. So,
Okay.
Sisir also
Yes,
will
yes,
join.
no issues. I will means you try, but if you are not able to join, you that is not an issue, because you can see like I actually revise the things in the next session as well. Okay, so
Yeah,
Okay,
it's an issue, because uh, my main target is to make you understand. It is not like just I have to give the demonstration and that's it. Actually I want to, that's why I all time I ask if you have any question just ask, because if you are not asking question, that it seems for me like you are not getting my point. So yeah, that's a good thing that you ask the questions. Okay,
yeah,
so when you ask question, I try to uh, explain in a better manner, or some try to explain in the different manner so you can understand. Okay, so my target is to make you like at least at a intermediate level, that you can troubleshoot the issue of Docker. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Sisir, when is the activity tomorrow? Time? I think Sisir left.
I think yeah, he's
Hello,
left.
Sisir. No, 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 he came back.
Yeah, okay.
y-
Hello,
you can
Sisir.
hear me, right? Yeah, yeah. It is at 1:30, 1:30 p.m. Indian
1:30
time.
to, yeah, 1:30 till.
4. But we will wind up by 3, I suppose.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the, so we will start at 4, that will work.
Sarojit,
Yes, yes.
4:30 will be safer side. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
that
4
is
will
also
also
fine.
do, cause we
For
will join
4:30
directly
will
from
work.
office.
Yeah, you can
Sisir,
just message me,
Okay.
like if you are getting late, you can just message me, because
Mhm.
if you have done the activity and then you will join, while doing activity, our mind is not free, like sometimes
अरे ऐसे
happens.
करो, एक्टिविटी के बाद 15 मिनट ब्रेक
Yes,
लेके उधर ही ज्वाइन करेंगे.
Yeah, that
चलेगा
as
चलेगा.
you
Do
know.
that.
Yeah, that will do.
Okay.
So we'll ping you accordingly.
Yes, yes. You just ping me. I will be
Yeah,
available till 6:30. So if you ping me before that, I will take session. Okay. No
yeah, yeah.
issues. I
Okay, sir.
will
Okay.
work. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay then.
Thank you very much.
Sarojit,
Bye-bye.
hello Sarojit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, will you please upload this video today?
Yes, yes. I will upload it. Let me check my data. I will download it today or not
Okay.
because I have to first download it and then upload it. So
Oh,
yeah,
that
I
is
will
then.
try. I will try.
If possible,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
I will upload, no problem. Yes, I will upload. But if after 12 o'clock, because after 12 o'clock I will get the data once again. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, sure,
so
no problem.
you can see,
Yes.
you can watch it tomorrow morning. That will be
Hmm.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Okay. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye.